Morning sim fans, Racing 393. We're here just for a quick update really. I'll say a quick update. Well, I haven't been on my YouTube channel for months. Haven't had time, to be honest. So what I've done is I've decided to have a little different route, different stance on my channel. Basically, because I haven't got time to keep updating it every week. And I'll be honest with you, there's many people out there that actually do a much better job at it, and have got a lot more time on their hands. So, called Zero Heroes and Heroes. Now, the reason I've named it that is one of the main things about motorsport is that we only really hear of the winners, unless there's a particularly bad loser. So that might stick in history, I suppose. So, it's synonymous. Ayrton Senna and McLaren for Formula One, for example. Got things like, World Endurance Championships. Sports car racing. Derek Bell, there's names that we've heard of. But there's plenty of drivers in across all disciplines who haven't really got to the top of their game for whatever reason. Probably good enough, but just haven't had the breaks. So what I'm going to do is, because I've got a lot of race models, cars, and of all different motorsport, everything. And what I'm thinking of doing is, on any of my race sims, pick a car and driver combination, and then drive it round the period track. For example, rFactor 2 has a lot of Formula 1 content ranging over from 1967 to present day. It's not official content, but it's got all the markings of the original car and driver combination. So, for example, my next video will be about Graham Hill in his 1968 World Championship winning Lotus. And we're going to take that for a spin around the Nordschleife, which is a track that car would have gone round. I'm going to put a little bit of history for the car, maybe not so much the track, but maybe a little bit, maybe some more of the Graham Hill's exploits there. I'm going to do some different presentations sort of at the beginning as well, which I'm hoping will work. So we'll see how that goes. Admittedly, Graham Hill is a world famous racing driver, so most of us would have heard of that. But for example, I've got a couple of other models. I've got like Jackie Ickx's Ferrari, Martin Brundle in a McLaren. So, and they're the sort of things that I'd like to sort of include to give these some of these unsung heroes and heroes a bit of a talking through to see whether it's interesting or whether we will learn something from it. Well, that's the sort of the plan. We'll see how that goes. Again, it's not going to be for lap record purposes around a particular track. I'm not trying to beat any lap records because I'm not that good a sim racer. I'm reasonably competent but not world class. So it's more of an education video, to be honest. And apart from this one, which has got me at the beginning talking, they shouldn't be any longer than about 30 minutes. I'll keep it below 30 minutes if I can, or edit it down, because I found that if videos are sort of longer than that, 40 or even an hour, it's okay live, but not really to sit down and an hour of your life watching someone drive a car around a track. I'm not sure if that's entertaining. Anyway, I hope you get on board. I really would like to know your thoughts. I'm not video editing expert by any stretch, so I'm doing the best of what I've got. So I haven't got huge amounts of equipment or time. So, but I'm just going to see whether or not this is a good route to take. Well, I hope you enjoy the update. I hope you enjoy the upcoming video, and we shall see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Welcome sim fans, Racing 393. You're coming up to see this picture now of the Lotus 49B. This is the graphical representation of the car, which is actually in rFactor 2. It's designed by Colin Chapman. I mean, he was the founder of Lotus Engineering, and was powered by the Cosworth DFV engine, which in those days and most of the 70s, right through the 70s actually, most Formula 1 cars were powered by this engine. So it's a very popular engine in the times. It's actually this car was very, very successful, even though historically extremely dangerous. It wasn't the most reliable car in Formula 1 history, but when it didn't break down, it won basically. The chassis was the old style. It's made of, you know, aluminium monocoque. If you think about the speed these cars were going, and you're just sat in a little aluminium chassis, it's relatively strong, but it's nothing like today's carbon fibre, and not only today's, but sort of cars in the sort of the late 80s into the 90s in carbon fibre, but a lot stronger and a lot lighter. The predecessor of this car was the Lotus 43, and after this car, Colin built Lotus 63 and the Lotus 72. We've got models of those as well, so we'll probably have those in some sort of film, editing film, I should think, later on. The engine was 3000cc, mid-engine, so V8. And interestingly, the transmission back in the day, you know, I can vouch for this. It's built by Hewland Engineering. William Hewland is the kart driver that I knew at the time. He used to race against me in karting, and was sort of the founder of the Hewland Arrow, which was a 100cc engine I had back then. It's interesting to see how much these cars weigh. 500 kilos, give or take. That's incredible, incredibly light. And putting out as much power as they did, that's why they couldn't handle the power. They had no grip, sort of on cross-ply tyres. Well, they were actually on Dunlop or Firestone, so very limited grip. And drivers of these ones. So although Graham Hill is actually one of the most famous drivers, if you like. I'm not sure if I can move that actually. No. So Graham Hill was one. British. Jim Clark, Mario Andretti, Emerson Fittipaldi, Jochen Rindt, and someone you might not know, the Swedish driver Joe Stifferet. Might not have heard of him, but again, there's many other drivers along there. They're the notable ones. I will go into some more details at which drivers I will do. This is the first one I am doing. So Graham Hill is a famous driver, but that's only because it's a car that I've got in stock, and it matches up with what's on the game. And this debuted actually in 1967, and that was the Dutch Grand Prix. So a little bit of statistics about the sort of the winningness of this car. It had 42 races, 13 fastest laps, 19 poles, 23 podiums, and 12 wins. So as you can see here, we've just got onto the model version of the car. Hasn't quite panned out how. I'll be honest with you, I was hoping to have a bit more light on the subject. It's something I'm struggling with, so I'm hoping that I can improve on that with what I've got. I don't particularly plan on buying anything specifically for this, and I've also noticed that because of my editing, I've got the on-screen display, if you like, on the camera, so I must remember to not have that on there. So all these little things I'm sort of learning and remembering Just a few other things here. I think looking down, I've got a few information here. Jim Clark actually won on the car's debut in 1967, and it's the last of his win in a career. And 1968, Graham Hill went on and got the World Championship that year in the car, and it continued to win races right up to 1970. So very, very successful in its time. They sort of spouted wings. I'm not sure how you feel about these wings. I mean, in the game, you can take the wings on or off. I think for the purpose of the actual, because the car has actually got a wing, although it's a bit bent where it's been in storage. I'll keep the wing on there in the game. We're going to take this car around the Nordschleife, a track which is synonymous with this vehicle and driver combination. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this little historical run, and if you've got any ideas or suggestions, then please let me know. If you've got a specific car you want me to cover that's in rFactor 2, then I'll get the car if I haven't got it, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, enjoy the video. Thanks for listening.
So here we are at the Nordschleife in Germany, and we're on the endurance layout, which includes a little bit of the Grand Prix track. I'm hoping it's not too loud. I've just got to check. There we go. So for me, that field of view looks pretty good. I'm going to be using a H pattern with clutch. I inadvertently left the AI on, so there's going to be 22 other cars out there, which I wasn't planning on doing. And we are quite loud, so I've got a Fanatic direct drive wheel, which works on the PS4, Xbox and PC. I've got a widescreen monitor, 1080 Ti graphics card, an i7 processor. Slight upgrades since my last videos. I'm going to try and get a lap in now if I can. So the only HUD item I have on is the tyre HUD, as you can see. rFactor tends to have a few anomalies with some graphical glitches every so often.
All clear on pit exit. Your brakes are cold. We need to get some heat into them. Take it easy, you've got cold tyres.
And we've got crew chief running as well. So it's very, very tricky on these first few corners, actually. Yeah, it's take two, because I actually wasn't concentrating on where I was going and drove straight off the track.
Your exit is clear. Watch the white line. Sector 1 is clear.
So immediately, 500 kilograms of weight is noticeable. As soon as you touch the throttle, the car wants to take off. I'm only in third at the moment. This is where I went wrong last time. Yeah. Goes around here. See the tyres warming up now. So through here. And on to the Nordschleife we go. Right. Like I say, it's not going to be a lap record by any stretch. But back in the day, these cars would have raced around here anyway. As we heel and toe down, trying to keep the car straight while I do that. Very, very torquey engine, so even from low down in third, the car wants to snap loose. Oh, nearly. Missed a gear then. And again. So getting terrific force feedback through this wheel actually. Should open the car up now a little bit now through here. It's only 5 speed. There's a few glitches with the car. Oh, that's because of the dog. So the dog was actually near me then. So there are a lot of cars around me now, which I didn't really want, but there we go. So not a lot of grip at all on the car. So you've got to feather that throttle around these corners. So I've got some more cars approaching. We'll let them past. So you can't get full throttle. A real driver's car, to be honest, which is why I'm having problems. It's the old proverbial talking and driving thing. See, in a downforce car, this would be flat. But not today. Not in 1968. Nearly. So we'll try and get some, coming up to the first carousel. So we're going to let him past, whoever that is. You just have to be, one of the things that you appreciate is just how lively they are in these days. Over any of these bumps and rises, you can see third gear, very tractable. It's a great rendition of the track, rFactor 2's version. Very, very good. The best so far, I would say. So this is all third gear. I wouldn't say I know this part of the track particularly well, but we're nearly done a lap. I know there's not a lot of talking, but the last sort of carousel, if you like, and then it's a flat out finish bar 2 corners. That corner always catches me out there, to be honest. It's tighter than you think. Only got 5 gears. Screaming it. This might even kill the Ford, don't know. Hairy through there. So that was hairy. And then across the line. So there we have it.
Your quickest overall.
Don't know how. So there we have it. There was a quick lap of the, not a quick lap, but a one lap of the Nordschleife. In the Lotus 49B, as driven by Graham Hill. So, very entertaining. You've got to be on your guard on this car. It just wants to spit you off the track all the time. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was a bit of entertaining for you. I'm not particularly great at talking and driving, if I'm honest, but I'll do my best. Anyhow, that's the first one of many. I hope I shall see you on the next venture.